No, what was I saying? It's like, if you're a male feminist, you're a predator. That is it. I'm a supporter of women's rights, but I'm not a male feminist. It's like, I think women are beautiful, and I like looking at them. I don't leer at them, but I look and I do a quick screen grab, so to speak. Like, oh yeah, that's nice. It's like, every woman has her thing in her life. It's like, there's a lot of mistakes in my life. One, going to prison. Like, I was scared shitless when I went to prison, but when I got to prison and I went through the prison system, it was everything you see on the television about prison is complete bullshit. Like, it was prison, like what they show in, like, there's only one prison movie I've ever seen that is sort of accurate, and that is A Prophet, French movie. That is probably the most accurate version of prison. That's what prison was. It's like, yeah, you wear your own clothes, and if the thing about it is, it's like, there's no raping in prison. Like, they go, oh, we're gonna rape you, we're gonna rape you, we're gonna rape you, and it's like, no, no, no. Most of the time it's consensual for drugs. I remember in prison there was a USB being shared around because they had televisions. Like every cell, you have a television. And it's like, had a USB port. So they made it so you could, stick in there. There used to be a night in prison that every Friday night, oh, we're gonna show you, like, the guards were like, all right, we're just gonna slip on a porn movie for the things. Everybody can wank off to it on Friday night. And you know what happened to that? Oh, I'm gay. I don't appreciate it. I want gay porn, so I'm gonna complain. You know what I mean? It's like, if it doesn't fucking involve you, do not complain. He got nailed so hard. He basically, like, he had to go to the worst prison to be safe. Like, I remember this dude, like, I was talking to him, and he was like, because no one understands, oh, you go to prison, oh, you just get slapped in the cell. No, that's not how it works. Fucking hell, it's so fucking stupid. You get put in induction, which is a side cell, and like, you may be there for a week, you may be there for 1 day. It depends, you know what I mean? It's... But what happened was, you know, I was like, yeah. It's like, had this guy from fucking, like, a hardcore prison, like, he murdered people. He was only back in because he smoked weed. And it's like, you know, and he was on parole at the time. So he was back in, so he had to do his full sentence. Which was a load of bullshit. You know, it's like, oh, I've got weed. I'm out on parole. After, you know, serving, what, 16 years. And I was talking to him, and, you know, we got on pretty good. It's like, you know, talking, he's like, yeah, it's just the fucking politics of prison. It's all bullshit. It's like, dude, I just want to do my own time, blah, blah, blah. You know, he understood. We were on a good wavelength. And he was, even in induction, he was like, I want, like, he asked me what I did. And I'm like, ah. And then I told him, and it's like, dude, don't, like, you were just honest. I don't care about telling me your crime. I just wanted to know that you were honest. And then he wanted me as his cellie. He wanted me as his cellie. You know what I mean? It's just like, dude, I'm just honest. It's like, I learnt that years ago. It's like, I don't steal. Like, I used to be a massive thief. Like, back in the 90s, I used to steal shit. And, you know, I got to a point, and I learnt. It's like, you lose more than you gain by stealing. You lose. It's like, you just have to be honest in this world. You need to be the best person you can be, as bad as you are. It's like, I'm stuck. I can't get a job because, you know, I've been to prison. So it's a very strange, like, somewhat, like, if I saw, like, I've run into two of the people, like, I think the last parole day I had to go to, I saw the guy going for his first parole day. You know what I mean? It's like, we saw it, we locked eyes, and I was like, we're not gonna talk to each other. That's how it is in prison. You don't. It's like, nope. We had that. We're not gonna be associated on the outside. That's the thing about prison. It's like there's only one good friend that I want to see, and I hope to run into him. And if I bump into him in real life, I'll be like, hey! You know what I mean? It's like, that's the only person I want to see in my life. And, you know, if anybody watches my streams over the years, I've noticed, of course it's Mark. The gayest person in the world. But goddamn, I love him. I love Mark. I love him. He was never scared. And the thing about it is, there was one time that he, like, backed me up. It's like, he was gated and all the shit. And it's like, he's like, fuck this shit. Because I had a guy, in prison. It's like, there's only one toilet kind of shit. And it's like, dude, you've been on the toilet for 20 minutes. I need to take a shit. In the end, I had to go over to the other side of the wing where no one was using the toilet to actually say, hey, can I use the toilet? And they're like, yeah, go for it. And then I came out and he's like, oh, you're a bad man. And he's waving his finger at me. And I'm like, get this finger out of my fucking face. And when that happened, Mark just like, dude, I'm standing behind you. Like, it made fun of, in prison, everything's made to be made fun of. It's like, I don't doubt people made fun of me. It's like, oh, he's a baby that sucks his finger still. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care, kind of thing. It's like, everybody is themselves. Everybody has a voice. Everybody's entitled to live their life. And it's like, I remember growing up in the 80s, and it's like, there were news reports of bashings of things, and I'm like, why? It's like, I knew gay people back when I was 8 years old. It was just the most stupid thing. It's like, yeah, so someone has a sexual preference. What the hell does that have to do with you? At 8 years old, I knew that. At 8 years old, eight, I knew that. It's like, you know, I was like, oh, that guy likes dudes. You know, it was sort of like, ah, I don't know. Maybe that's a, you know, thing at 8 years old. And that's why I live in this world and I don't care about skin color, sexuality. That's it. There's only two things: skin color or sexuality. That's it. There's nothing more. It's like, oh, you're trans. That comes under sexuality. It's like, I don't care about anything. And that's what I think about the alphabet community. They've gone too far broadening. It's like, you're just a different sexual thing. It's like, I don't care. It's not my business what you do with your life. You know, it's like, fuck it. But they want to jam it in your face. It's like I've grown up with this shit for my whole life. Alright? I've grown up with trans people. All this shit. Like, my mum worked in the theater back in the early 90s. It's like, I knew that. I knew, you know, I knew all this shit. It's like, here's a little thing. I couldn't give a shit. What I gave a shit about is the fact that this guy had a Donald Duck telephone. You know, that's what I cared about. It's like, I grew up in an adult world because, and I learnt a shit ton of things. I learnt early that adults suck. They're not always the best. You know what I mean? It was, like, that's what I learned. I learned it a lot, and then, you know, I went through life. I realized that academia was not my preference. You know, I'm the kind of guy who just makes things from my hands. I understand mechanics. I understand how things work. I understand how to repair things on the fly. Yeah, that's not gonna... Yeah, that's not the most beneficial. That's not what the... what is it? That's not what the manual says. It's like, yeah, but it fucking works. So who cares? It works. It's like, I know how to fucking... Like, I've rebuilt engines just by just doing it. It's like you never gotta be scared in this life to just try. It's like, what are you gonna do? Fail. Try again. Never be scared to fail. And it's like, I've failed so many times in my life. Well, I've obviously failed many times in my life because I went to prison. But I succeeded because I worked out how to fucking yeah, I succeeded because, but then it was a fail. It's like, I used to do B&Es, and it's like, back in the 90s, yeah, it doesn't work that way anymore, because I think a lot, like, you know, the, what is it? The, like, locksmiths, or whatever, learnt, you know, it's like, that's a fault. And it's like, goddamn. And it's like, back in the day, they had hardcore doors. Like, remember, hardcore doors. And it's like, but the hinges faced outward. So I worked out, it's like, just instead of trying to bust the lock, let's pull the pins out of the other side. And that's when I got my first computer. Well, actually, it wasn't my first computer. It was my first PC. Like, I had, I think what was my first computer? An Amiga 500. Yeah. I had the full system. My mum bought it. And I owe her a lot of money. I owe her a lot of money. You know, I still have the Amiga 500 with the original fucking CRT. Still there, and the external hard drive. I used to have two. I don't know what happened. I remember I had the one and another one, and it was daisy chained onto the other one, kind of thing. You know, back then it was daisy chaining. I remember that. I remember that. I remember a lot of things in my life that I regret. And there's a lot of things in my life that I don't want to remember. There is one moment in my life that I wasn't there for, but I can only imagine, and I'm like, I'm not gonna fucking do that to anybody. And if I knew who did that, I would fucking kill him. If I knew who did what I'm thinking about, it's like, I'd just kill him. I don't care if you're a human. I'm gonna fucking kill you. And it plagues my mind. It's a disgusting thing. If I knew him, I'd just fucking kill him. I'd sort of want to do the same thing to my cat, to them. It's like, it's just, it's like you've got to be some kind of evil to do that. I care about animals. It's like, we got fucking possums living out here, you know, and magpies who come around saying, hey, how you doing? You know? And I just get to the point in my life, it's like, how can you be evil? It's like, I care. I got, you know, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna shut it down anyway, so. Nah, but I just needed to say this. Of course, no one's gonna hear it. It makes me sad. I'm sort of like, you know, I'm just hoping for death. I'm hoping just natural causes. Life sucks. But I can't self-delete. I made a promise, and I can't break a promise. So I don't know. Alright. I'm just gonna get a peanut butter sandwich. I don't know what I'm meant to do in my life. We'll find out. Life's an adventure. And maybe I'm just in the bad zone. Maybe I'll learn shit. Hey, don't drink anymore. Just drink water. Which I drink a shit ton of water. I don't know. I'll figure out things. It's like I stopped drinking cola. Like I was drinking Pepsi Max, and you know, I think maybe it started making me sick. So you know. I don't know. There's a lot of things in this life you gotta work out. Alright. Let's just shut it down.